Welcome back. If you aren't new, welcome to the channel. If you are new, as you guys saw in the title and in the thumbnail, we will be building a custom 3-inch exhaust for this 1997 Mercedes-Benz E420. As you can see, this is the stock exhaust. I'm gonna give you guys a better look at it on the side of the car so you guys can see what I'm gonna be doing. So there it is. These are the secondary cats. I will be removing these. I will be putting an X pipe right there. Then I will be putting a Y pipe after the X pipe, and then I will just be doing a single exit 3-inch all the way to the back. This is the stock exhaust. This is the condition of it. As you can see, for a 97, it's not too bad. You know what I mean? It's obviously got some rust and some signs of wear and everything like that, but this is what she looks like. Fuel pump, everything is working with that. But yeah, so that is the stock exhaust. I'm gonna turn you guys back on and show you guys the 3-inch kit that I have. I do have some 3-inch piping left over, so I don't know if I'm gonna tap into that or just use everything brand new, but this is what we're working with. It's going to be loud. It's going to be extremely loud, and I don't mind it. I love it. It's a V8. It's got a roar. These stock exhausts, I believe they have a lot of restriction when it comes to airflow of the car and the performance. So I think when we build this exhaust, we'll be able to free up a lot of airflow, and we'll probably get more horsepower gains. I feel like, I don't know if it'll be a crazy ton, but it'll be enough. That I believe is the resonator, and then back there is the muffler. Secondary cat, resonator, muffler. So, and I believe the stock, it goes from 1.5 to 2.5 to 1.5. I think it's kind of weird, but yeah, I'll turn you guys back on and I'll show you the kit. So as you guys can see, this is the kit. It's not a lot of piping, but I think it should be enough. I think it should be enough. Like I said, I have some 3-inch left over that I can easily use, but as you can see, straight 45, 90. Well, this really isn't. Yeah, I guess you can consider it 90. 180, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. You think I would know since I built custom exhaust, but right now I'm just too excited to even think, man. As you can see, this is 304 stainless steel. Don't have no problems with rust. We do have a little bit of a, I don't know if it's like a dent or whatever right here, but it won't affect anything. Not too worried about it. If it was something crazy, I'd probably, you know, get a new kit, but this is what we're looking at right now. I'm gonna show you guys where we're gonna make our cut at. My flashlight, so you guys can see better. That right there, that's where I'm gonna be making my cut. Oh, and I'm also going to be putting a exhaust clamp. I'm not gonna be welding this right here because it's a tight space and I gotta take this whole entire cat off to do that. So what I'll be doing is I'll be making a cut here, and then I'll be clamping it, and then everything from the rear will be welded. I'll probably weld it off the car because there is a fuel pump right there, and I don't want to risk any sparks getting anywhere they aren't supposed to. So this is our X pipe, this is our Y pipe. They actually look like they were made from the same company. I don't know if they were. I don't really pay attention to that, but this is our 2.5-inch X pipe, 2.5-inch to 3-inch. This is our 1.5-inch. I'm not using this for the car, but I'm just going to show you guys what the X pipe will do once we make a cut before our secondary cat. So this is our secondary cat right here, and this is our X pipe. What it will do is it will slide in here like this. You see how it slides in there? And then once we slide that in there, we'll be able to clamp this. That'll be good to go. And then this is what this will look like here. We will weld our Y pipe right there, and then 3-inch all the way back. So this is what it's gonna look like basically from the secondary cat, well, where it was. So then that way, it will give it a crispier sound. It'll have more even flow, and then Once we have even flow here, we'll be able to go to our Y pipe, and then we'll be able to just go straight back. I'm going to show you guys the hanger that actually broke off of the original exhaust because it was so rusty. So we're probably going to have to find some hangers around here if I can find some. If not, we're going to have to order one, but no big deal on that. But yeah, all stainless steel, everything is good to go. This actually is not stainless steel, I don't think. I mean, I'm not using this anyway, but yeah, I had this for another project that I didn't get to do. But yeah, this is what we're looking like. The welds are in great shape, great condition. Very, very, very nice welds. So we don't have to worry about anything cracking here. Okay, turn you guys back on. This is the body saw, new blade. And then this is the angle grinder right here that I'm gonna be using. I'm gonna start with the angle grinder and see how much I can cut, because I'm probably not gonna get all around the pipe with this. So this is what the body saw comes in handy for, but I'm gonna start it with this because starting cuts with the body saw, it just doesn't work out, at least for this one. Unless you have like one of those bigger saws with the big blades on them, you'll probably get it like that all the exhaust shops use and everything. But we're gonna start with this, and then I'll cut you guys back on. I got this heavy, oh my God, it's extremely heavy, but I got it off 2 secondary cats. I believe either that's one muffler or it might be, I don't know, that's too big to be a resonator to me, but that's that. And then we also have our rear muffler here. That's what we are looking like all the way to the back. This is actually too big. It sits up there, but as you can see the gap there. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to get an adapter. I'm gonna have to get a 2-inch adapter to a 2.5. All right, so I turned you guys back on because what I figured I'd do is I'm gonna weld these two together, since that way these will already be welded. This is obviously, as you guys saw, going where the cats were, and then this will be welded to the Y pipe, and then the Y pipe will be welded back. So I'm gonna turn you guys back on once I have these welded up. Turn you guys back on. We have this all welded up. It actually welded pretty good. It was some spots that was kind of tricky to get to, as you can see, like in between here. This was just angle. But all in all, it welded up great. Flux core has some splatter to it, so it can be a bit messy. But as you can see, the dimes, they got laid. All right, turn you guys back on. We have welded this section up. This is basically the mid pipe that will connect to the Y pipe, and this will go to the back of the car. As you can see, these welds turned out way better. What I did was a different method. So when I welded the X pipe, I went in a circle. When I welded this, I went back and forth like a half moon. And this is the result I got. It is a way better weld. You can get a little bit better than this with flux core, but this is basically what you're gonna get when you really have experience. As you can see, the nice beads there. So what I'm probably gonna do is I'm probably gonna mock this up. I do have my V-bands here, or this is one V-band. And what I'm gonna do is this is going to connect to the Y pipe that is going to be welded. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a V-band here. So then that way I can disconnect it. And then that way this section of the Y pipe is still on to the factory cats. And then this can come off. And then also I'm gonna have a V-band here as well. And then this section moving forward will go to the back of the car where the muffler was. So I'm gonna have two V-bands, one right here, one right here, and then basically we should be good to go. It'll be a little bit tricky welding the Y pipe to the stock cats because of the space that I have, but we'll figure that out. I was gonna clamp it, but I'm not gonna clamp it anymore because I want it to be more permanent and it'll look cleaner as well. So that's what we're gonna do there. As you can see, I just got that done about maybe 5 minutes ago. This is still hot, so take it from me, don't touch a hot weld. I've done that before. I've learned the hard way. But yeah, so this is what we're looking like. We're gonna get this ready. We might have to mock it up, like I said. We might have to cut this a little bit because of the adapter we have. It's about maybe, I want to say 5 inches. So I'm gonna have to cut this, move this up some, so then that way this fits perfectly. Because I cut this perfectly, it'll go kind of underneath the lower control arm, so then that way it doesn't move or it doesn't hit the lower control arm. That way when the control arm, you know, flexes and everything when you drive, this will be perfectly fine. It'll go right underneath. And then this, like I said, will connect to the muffler, or where the muffler was. We're not gonna have no muffler on it. I actually thought about getting a resonator, but we're gonna see how it sounds straight pipe completely. And yeah, I'll turn you guys back on once I have this V-band welded. All right, turn you guys back on. I have the adapters welded up. As you can see, the splitter is all over the place, but I'm not too worried about that because this is what's gonna weld on to the factory cats. But as you can see, these welds, man, it looks TIG welded. I'm pretty proud of myself. This is probably my best welds to date for sure. And it's good I get to share them with you guys as well. So this is what the welds are looking like all around. As you can see, I mean, my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. They're great. I actually re-welded this middle part because the technique I used, as I mentioned in the last clip, it just was too thin of a weld. So I thickened that up some more. So it's basically double welded. So this will never come off. This will never come off either, but got this figured out. I don't know how long it's been, but this is the X pipe. As you can see, I'm gonna take you guys up top. The top of the welds are horrible. But we're gonna see if it leaks, which it might, but this is what the X pipe is looking like. As you can see, the welds are a lot prettier and better, but up here it's hard to get to. So I don't know if we maybe need to get a clamp for that or something, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna start it up and see how she sounds, see if she's leaking from the top of this X pipe, and if she's not, we're gonna just fabricate the rest of the exhaust. As you guys heard, it sounds amazing. I don't know if we have any leaks up here, which I don't think we do, but look at those welds, man. They're hideous. They are horrible looking. If it doesn't leak, it doesn't leak, but we'll end up taking these off anyway, so we can probably get some better welds in the future. But as you can see the difference with those welds that I did on the right side versus the left side, it's just a tricky spot to get to. So I tightened this up because I actually thought I had to remove, I tightened this up, this bracket, because I thought I had to remove the actual cat to weld it up, but I kind of finagled the bagel. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start it up again and see if anything rattles or if it sounds like it's leaking. Oh, right now, as you guys can see here, I just have a straight going into a little cut, and then I have a bend going underneath the lower control arm. I have to weld up the rest of that. I'm gonna put a V-band on that as well, like I mentioned. But this is what she is looking like. The top of those welds, as you can see, they're horrible. We're gonna see how long they last. Hopefully they'll last for the life of the car or whenever I get some new headers. And then we should be good to go with that. But look at how gorgeous she looks. She looks beautiful. Tucked up in there, nice and neat. I had to bang up the heat shield right here a little bit to get that V-band clamp some clearance. All right, cutting you guys back on. As you can see, the X pipe into a Y pipe, into a straight, into a little bend. I don't know what degree that is, into another straight. And then that is sort of a bend. And then it goes into another bend, and then to another bend. So as you can see, I got to drop down a little bit below this lower control arm, or actually this is below the subframe. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably sit this up a little bit just like that, and then weld in a hanger right there. And then I'm gonna be working on the back part, as you can see. So turn you guys back on. This is basically the mid pipe. This is what she's looking like, all welded up. Got some splatter here that I gotta take care of, but no big deal. All the welds are finalized. That hanger goes to the hanger that I showed you in the previous clip. So this is what she's looking like. We have to build this section to the back of the car. I'm not sure if I want to V-band this so I can easily remove it, but I don't know. I might do that actually. Then again, I might not. I don't know. But yeah, either I V-band that or I just keep it as it is and then build it to the back of the car. I will show you guys really quick. I'm going to do a cutout here. It's probably just going to be like this, as you can see. And then it'll be dual tips coming out. I want to go straight because the stock exhaust, it angles this way. So that's what I'll do. I'll probably just go straight back. I'm not sure where I want it. Probably where this is, so right about here. That's probably where I'll do it. As you can see, we got a lot of space. There's our V-band right there. I had to get the jack to jack the pipe up a little bit so I can weld in the hanger. I got to get more hangers as well, but this is what we're working with right now. And I'll let that cool off because it is very hot right now since I just welded it, but that is what we're looking like. It's looking great. 3-inch. It's gonna sound even crazier once I put the tips on there, because I don't know if you guys know. Oh, if it was gold, that would be fire. But I don't know if you guys know, if you do different exhaust tips, it changes the sound a little bit. So that's why we're gonna go dual. I think it'll give it a good look. Turn you guys back on. I think we left off with this part right here. As you can see, basically the mid pipe is on there pretty good. Now we have to run piping all the way back. So now we have the exhaust tip in. It is a dual exhaust tip. Well, it's a 1-to-2 or 2-to-1, however you want to call it. And what we're going to do is we're going to put it right there, but it'll be where this is. So how I'm going to do this is I'm going to line it up below there, and then I'm going to trace around the exhaust tips, and then we will cut this part out. So then that way we have something that will have some room for our exhaust tip. So I'll cut you guys back on once this is done. All right, as you can see, we got it mocked up right now on a jack and also a little toolbox. So this is how it'll look. I'm not sure if we want to have it poking out a little bit or we want to keep it flush with the bumper. I think flush with the bumper would be pretty nice. We're gonna have a straight that goes all the way back, and then we're gonna have a bend down there. So stay tuned for that.
Them niggas burning. This is a new block. We call this bitch right here, baby version. It's too much for me to vote. On the nose plate. Ain't no but a seas game, perfect time. Reach, but I'm still ducking one time. I seen the light and I climbed in.
All right, turn you guys back on. This is the mid pipe going all the way up to the exhaust tip. As you can see right here, I had to weld this part in because I had to angle this a certain way so then it could fit up to this, as you can see. So that's what we got going on. I'm probably gonna make a cut here, and I'm going to V-band somewhere in here so then that way I can easily remove it. Cut you guys back on. It's mocked up right now on a V-band, and as you can see, it goes all the way back. I'm gonna put you guys on pause real quick to show you what it looks like from the back side of the car. All right, so as you can see, this is what we got going on. It goes underneath the lower control arm. It could have went up a little bit more, but it's okay. And then as you can see, it'll go straight through the back of the exhaust there. So basically, this is what we're going to deal with. I can do this one hand. So that's the back of the exhaust. Exhaust tips go there. And then we just have to connect that. And then we'll put a V-band. The V-band might go right there where we have those two lines that I made. I was thinking of putting it right here somewhere, but I think that's gonna be a good location for that. And then, yeah, we'll basically be done. And we have to put some hangers here. We're gonna get these removed. All right, got the exhaust tacked up. I'm gonna have this amount of spacing just so it doesn't rattle. And I think that actually looks pretty good. So, got it tacked up there. Now I'm gonna safely and carefully remove it so the welds don't crack, but that's what we are looking like. The gas tank is right here, so just be mindful not to start any fires. It is a risky and tricky situation that you'll be in if you're welding around a gas tank, so just be careful of that. But this is what we're looking like. I'm gonna take all this off. I'm gonna tack everything, final weld everything, and then we should be good to go. We just have to wait for a hanger to get in the mail. As you can see, we're gonna wait for 2 of them. And then this exhaust will be done, except for the V-band that we're gonna weld here. All right, cut you guys back on. We have this all fully welded up. Everything is fully welded up. These welds came out great. I had to adjust my settings. They kind of got out of whack as I was welding, but everything is ready to go. As you can see, these 2 lines here, or these 4 lines, are for the V-band I'm gonna put in. So I actually measured this wrong the first time, and I had a line, the inner line right here, but I realized that this sticks out maybe like a 1/2 inch. So it'll stick out like this, and then the V-band on the other side will go in, and then that way it's all cut. Let me double check real quick though, because it does look a little off real quick. Okay, so I just realized I didn't need the second line on the outside, but as you can see, this is what the V-band will look like. It'll sit just right in there, and then we will be good to go with that. What we have to do is we just have to make our cuts on these inner lines, tack everything up, fully weld it, and then we'll have a good working V-band. Cut you guys back on, have everything welded up. I couldn't help myself and go in for the night. So what I did was I just welded up all these, the V-bands. So this is basically, I don't know if it's a 2-part, yeah, 2-part exhaust. So this is what we're looking like. It's looking great, 3-inch. I hope you guys stayed for this long of the video, because I know it's a pretty long video, but this is what we're looking like. And under the car, as you guys know, we have an X pipe into a Y pipe that is going into this single 3-inch. So I think it looks amazing. What we're going to do is we're going to wait for the exhaust tip section, so then that way we can weld in 2 hangers, and then once we do that, we'll be able to basically finish this whole thing up. Everything will be done probably in the next, I want to say, day or 2, depending on how fast I move on ordering the hangers. I had 1 hanger, but it's not long enough, and then we're just going to do 2 on each side. That way we have no room to move at all, but it looks great, as you guys can see. So stay tuned until I weld up the hangers for the exhaust tip. All right, turn you guys back on. We have the hangers basically tacked in here. As you can see, the V-band down there, it looks great. And then it goes out of the back of the exhaust like this. What we're going to do is we're gonna let this cool off so the welds don't crack. Take this off, and then we'll fully weld up those hangers. And then we will button up all the exhausts, start her up, let her idle, give her some crazy revs, and then that'll be the outro for this video. Show you guys real quick, V-band is actually off, and that's how you know you have a tight seal all the way around. When the V-band is actually disconnected, and everything is still on the hanger. So that thing ain't going nowhere. Full exhaust up there. Oh my God, I cannot wait to start this thing, man. It's going to sound insane.
Artist that I've never checked out before, man. He goes by the name of Nino Payne. I got a ball for all the time you niggas want there. We did it all. For all the time you niggas want to feel lost. But maybe that's the reason I'm the host. I feel mad, but maybe that's the reason that I'm here.
All right, we got her mocked up. Everything's good to go. I'm about to put you guys down so then you can hear what this thing sounds like. Stay tuned for that. How she's sounding. Low flowing through. I don't think we have any leaks at the V-band. Rough idle is something. But yeah, that's how she's sounding. We're gonna let her warm up and then we're gonna give her some revs. As you guys heard, this thing sounds like an animal. I'm gonna have to do some POV driving footage of it, but my God, man. Thank you guys for staying tuned. Make sure you guys drop a like, comment, share, subscribe. Turn post notifications on. I will see you guys in the next video. Next video will probably be headlights, but thank you guys for staying tuned. This thing sounds amazing. It's an animal, man. It's 4.2, is able to scream now. I don't even know if you guys can hear me, but thank you guys for tuning in, man. I appreciate it.